Hello, this is Peg with Craft Room Stories. Welcome to my channel. Okay, we're here for another Tag-tastic Tuesday. And I have seen two Scrappy Tags from two different creators. One from Angela the Traveling Crafter and another one from Loni at Grace Blossoms for You. And I will list their channels before. You should check them out. They're excellent creators. At any rate, everybody seems to do a different take on it. I'm going to do another Scrappy Tag. I had some of these squares left over when I did that kind of patchwork tag, which is very similar, but yet it's going to be different because we're not, like, it may just have some random stitching and stuff on it. And I'll do the stitching after, but I'm going to just lightly glue some things on there. I'm going to put some random bits of trims and everything except the kitchen sink on here. We're just going to have a little bit. I'm just going to cut tiny snippets. I gotta put my glasses down or I can't see what I'm doing. Just some tiny snippets of things, and we're just going to get some color going on this tag, and might even put a little bit of my granny's tatting on here. And I love rickrack. I don't always use it because if I'm doing kind of a Victorian style, I don't always feel like the rickrack is appropriate, but for like a prairie journal that I've got coming up, that one will be fun, and different things. Okay, let's cut that little bit off of there. We'll just get to gluing here. We're just going to glue a little bit. We're not going to glue them down really strongly because we are going to put a needle through these. But I'm just going to haphazardly kind of start gluing. And these just looked really fun to make. So I love scrappy bits of stuff. I don't know if that's too big. I might even cut that down. This is a piece of velvet ribbon, and I love this. Oh, flick it. I only got a tiny piece of it in a scrap bag, but I love it, and I just glued my own thumb. And why not? Let's wipe that off a little bit. I'm going to put most of the trims on last, but we're just going to get them on in kind of just a really whimsical way. It's not going to even matter. And yet I overthink it, you know, all the time. I probably should have put that ribbon on last because I want it to be on top because I like it. There, okay. And, oof. Definitely, it's sticking to me. Sticking. I've just refilled my glue bottle, so the glue is wanting to come out really quickly. Y'all, and now it's sticking to me. Okay, get off! Get off me! I had a funny story that I was thinking, did I put that on? I put that on upside down, y'all. Wow, I bet y'all were screaming, turn that over. I mean, it's pretty on both sides, but that was not my intention. Okay, I think that's probably good, but I'm going to put one more of these. I'm gluing this instead of the thing because I want it to really stick down good. Yeah, I had a story. I don't know if I've told it on this channel before because I always forget what I've told and I don't go back and listen to everything. But when I was in college, I ran a program called Younger Generation, A Contemporary View of the Cross. And we had all kinds of people come and, I mean, students, you know, would come and do either they would sing or they would do some poetry or a skit or, you know, just whatever. And I was always scared of anything that might happen to me in public because I'm a clumsy person. If I haven't mentioned that before, I am incredibly clumsy. I fall a lot. I haven't fallen lately, but I do fall a lot. I trip over things. I can trip over the yellow line on the double yellow line on the road. Literally can trip over that. And so I was always waiting for something incredibly embarrassing to happen to me. And there always was something, I mean, the very first night that I was doing this program, and of course I was nervous because I was the DJ at a Christian radio station, and my audience was typically, you know, the little tiny koala bear on the microphone. So I wasn't used to all the, you know, people looking at me unless I was singing, because I did sing in church and things like that. Okay, what do you guys think? You like that Scrappy Tag? And after I sew on it, I think I'm going to put that bow on top, and then I don't know if I'll leave it like that or if I will put like a little critter or something on it, or I don't know. It's kind of cute like it is, really. And then I had already backed it with that. I kind of want to do another one because these are so fun, and I have a tiny one that so while I'm telling the story, I'm just going to do another one. So anyway, I had my very first night, I was talking, and I'm always using my hands as I talk, and I knocked the microphone down, and it was a loud bang. I was afraid I'd broken it, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's the beginning. That's where it starts, you know, with all the nonsense. And so this one day, this was probably, I don't know, the second year I did it for 3 years, the last 3 years I was in college. And the second year, I believe, and I was really dressed up because this happened to be a music, what is the word? Music, for a lot of the schools between Arkansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Texas. I mean, it was just I think that was all that was there. But anyway, all those states. And anyway, they were there for a music, why can I not think of that? Music, it was a music kind of workshop. You would get together and sing as a choir and things like that. Anyway, I feel like maybe we'll put this on there. Anyway, it was just insane. And lots of people, standing room only. We had to have some people standing out in the hall because there was just, I'm moving this. There was just not room for everybody, and you know, the firemen were going to come and shut us down. It was just really crowded and fun. So I don't guess I have another one. Anyway, this day, I'm grabbing another piece of this real quick. I was dressed really cute, and I had previously had an incident, and I'll tell that one another time. I think I've told it, another wardrobe malfunction, because that's really where I excel, apparently, any kind of wardrobe malfunction. But this, people were pointing and laughing at me, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this was the actual one time ever that I had to go to the bathroom before I went on stage. So I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to find when I've been down there? So, because friends and stuff were pointing and some were laughing, and I was like, oh no, did toilet paper stick to my shoe or something, you know, and I didn't notice it. So I'm freaking out at this point, and I look down, and sure enough, there's something white hanging out of my pants leg, and I'm like, oh my goodness, toilet paper. No. So I bent down and got it out, and I chuckled to myself, and then I told everybody, I said, you guys are just wrong. You know, you thought that was toilet paper. It's not. It's a dryer sheet. And I said, I've been looking for this thing for 2 weeks. You know, you can reuse them. We're college students. We're on a budget. We got to make things count. So you got to reuse those dryer sheets. And everybody was cracking up. So then it was funny. Everybody was laughing and stuff, and I was laughing with them. So, and then the next girl that I called up to do her bit that she was going to do, she was like, hey, she said, I need a dryer sheet. Can I have this? It was kind of funny. So anyway, that was my story of embarrassment that I thought I'd share with you guys. It's kind of a wardrobe malfunction, but thankfully it was just a dryer sheet. But man, there were all, well, I might as well just tell you this one more thing since we're done. And I'm going to sew around these and then I'll come back and show you what they look like. So this one time, and I think I've told this before though, same program. I was dressed in a skirt and top that matched. It was gorgeous. It was purple and it had beads on it. It was so really, really pretty. And I was wearing a girdle with it. You know, I call them a body cast because that's what they feel like. Because back in the day, they didn't have Spanx, which are breathable. But anyway, I was wearing that. And when I went up onto the stage, you had to go up 3 steps or 4 steps. I stepped on the skirt and I didn't realize it because it was long. And I kept going and my skirt did not go with me. Yeah, so there it was, mooning everybody with that whole body cast situation going on. I mean, not that I would have rather them seen my underwear, but still in all, not cute. And so I wanted the earth to swallow me and it did not. So I had to just go on up, and I was just like praying for God to give me words to say, and finally I said, okay. And it was like silent. No one even laughed. No one said a thing. And I said, it's okay, folk. It's not that kind of show. Let's move on. Back to Jesus. So then the whole room busted up, and people came all the time just to see what would happen to Peg. But through that, hopefully we reached them with a bit of God. So let me go sew around these. I'll probably trim them up a little bit, and then we'll see what they look like. See if we need to add anything or just leave some fun scrappy tags. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, did a little random sewing. This one almost looks like a figure 8, but that wasn't my intention. So I'm going to cut off some threads here. Oh, and the piece de resistance to my previous stories was the very last time I did it before I graduated from college. The last time I had this program, they were presenting me with a Bible, and when I went to get it, I tripped over my own feet and fell on my rear end, which is the largest part of myself, and fell on that and bounced. Yeah, like a ball. That was a little bit of added fun. Sure, why not? So, you know, life goes on. I still fall. I still do crazy things. And now, because of menopause, it's just a matter of remembering them. So I'm just turning this over and trimming it up so that I'm not, you know, getting hung up on it or whatever. My stitching is kind of crazy. You can see I just kind of went around it. But I really like the looks of these, y'all. I think they're cute. And I love a scrappy tag. Now, some have done it with paper, and I didn't feel like going through my paper scraps right now and looking for fall colors and stuff. So I had all these scraps from the fabric. So I just thought, let's just stick with that. And I'm on a roll with scrappy tags, apparently. So, y'all get your scraps out. This is a great scrap buster. You could do this on pockets. It doesn't have to be tags. You could do it anywhere you want. I'm going to go ahead and put this as the topper. This is a little bow I made, trying to see if I could recreate the store-bought ones I found. And it's a lot harder and fiddlier than I even thought. So I do not know that we will do a video on that, because I was about ready to give it all up and go, I clearly am not a crafter. Why try after doing these? I think it would be better also as using hot glue. I think it would be better if you sewed them. But like I said, I'm not so good with the hand sewing just because it is, when my hands go to sleep, it is quite hard. Now, I kind of think this is cute there, even though there's no orange on this paper anywhere. I like it. I'm going to do it. I might as well have two. And this one is another one that I made. I think it would be better to make it with not as heavy or stiff fabrics to make these bows. I don't know. And just have the stiff fabric be the one in the middle. I'll do better. I couldn't seem to get them equidistant. Oh, there goes my phone. Okay. Anyway, what do you guys think? I might have to finish this off with like a little scripture or a little word or something. But for now, I'm just leaving them as is. I just think they're cute. Lots of texture and fun. Y'all tell me if you think they could use with, you know, a word or anything. I have these kind of glittery leaves. If you think that would be good, or if that would kind of detract from the look of them. I don't know what y'all think. Okay, my husband's getting a phone call now, so it's a good time for me to say, well, maybe it was just spam. Okay, it's a good time for me to say goodbye. And y'all tell me, please, if you would, in the comments, whether or not you think I should put anything on them. And I'm going to leave them blank until I hear from you. If you think I should put, you know, anything like that on them, let me know. I like them. Those were quite fun. And very quick, I must say. Of course, these are small tags, but still, very quick. All right, hugs. Bye. Oh, wait. And do a hashtag Tagtastic Tuesday, y'all. And tag me. Let's get these tags going so we get more tag ideas and don't get just kind of bogged down in one kind of, you know, style, which is what I'm guilty of. Okay. Hugs. Bye.